My beloved child, stop for a moment. Don't rush past this the way you are running away from yourself. But I must tell you a hard truth. You have made a grave mistake, and the consequences you are about to face are closer than ever. The situation has become so urgent that I cannot stay silent for another second. I am the breath of life, the heartbeat in your chest, and the whisper you unintentionally missed because you were too busy chasing tangible things out there. Today, I do not come to you through storms or thunder, but through these words, a private message I have nurtured for so long in the flow of time. Don't wonder why this video appeared on your screen right now. At the exact moment your soul feels so strangely unsteady. There are no coincidences in the universe's plan. There is only guidance. And you were brought here because I need you to hear what only you can truly understand. I know that lately, you have been carrying burdens you cannot share with anyone. The sleepless nights, the tears falling into the void, and the feeling of being lost in the rush of life. I see it all. You are standing at a crossroads where your faith is being tested to its limits. You are wondering if you are on the right path, if those silent efforts will ever be rewarded, or if you are truly loved in this ever-changing world. My child, I want you to know that your presence here right now is not random. In the invisible bond between you and me, there is a secret, a crucial message I have kept hidden, just waiting for the day you are ready to listen, to be healed and illuminated before the storm of consequences crashes down upon your life. It is like the final puzzle piece for the picture of your life that you are still struggling to put together. But before I can hand you that key, I need you to strip away your daily masks, so your soul can be truly still and ready to receive the miracles about to unfold. I will not dwell too much on the past, because I want to build a future with you where peace will be your companion. However, this journey requires your perseverance. If you are ready to open your heart to receive the guidance I have set aside just for you, stay with me until the very last second. When this video ends, you will understand why you were chosen to hear these words, and you will find the answers to the questions that have always tormented your heart. To begin the journey back to yourself and receive these divine instructions, type peace in the comments. That is how you affirm that you are ready to stop. Listen, and let me touch the hidden corners of your heart. Trust me, everything I am about to reveal next will be the answer you have been searching for all these years. My child, take a deep breath and keep your mind as still as possible. Do not try to run away or turn your back, because right now, as you face these words, I am already here, right in the beating of your chest, witnessing everything you have tried to hide for so long. I know that in the pitch-black nights, when darkness envelops the space and the noise of the outside world temporarily fades, you often lie there with a heavy heart. You try to lull your soul to sleep with self-reassurances that everything is fine, that you are just going through a rough patch. But deep down, a voice keeps echoing, reminding you of a massive crack. That crack is the grave mistake you are trying to bury under the dust of time. I see how hard you have tried to cover it up. You have used busyness to fill the voids, forced smiles to deceive the world, and even learned how to lie to yourself so you can go on living normally as if nothing happened. But my child, I am the one who sees into the deepest depths of the soul. How could I not see the intentions you plotted in the dark? How could I not see the moments you stood choosing between truth and convenience? And you chose to turn your back on the truth. Your mistake is not that you stumbled. For who in this mortal life hasn't made a mistake? Your gravest mistake is that you let your heart become callous to the warnings. You knew full well it was wrong. You heard your conscience screaming in warning, but you chose to ignore it. Your silence in the face of what is right is exactly what opened the door to today's dead end. Have you ever wondered why, right now, when everything seems to be under control, I have to call out to you what is truly hiding behind those doors you accidentally opened? The current unrest in your heart, the restless feeling as you hear these words, is not a coincidence. It is a signal. It is the universe ringing the alarm before the wall. You worked so hard to build collapses completely. I am not saying this to punish you. I am saying it to wake you up. If you keep making excuses, if you keep using human logic to justify your mistakes, you will only pull the strings of fate tighter. My forgiveness is always ready. But that forgiveness only finds its way to souls brave enough to look reality in the eye, not to those who are running away. You are standing on the borderline between restoration and ruin. On one side is a painful but liberating admission. On the other is self-deception that will lead you down a dead-end path. You know it, don't you? The moment you made that wrong decision, you knew what you would lose, but you brushed it off. You traded long-lasting peace for fleeting benefits. And now, as the pieces of consequence start to gather, you feel terrified. Your fear right now is the beginning of repentance. If you know how to use it right, don't be quick to close your heart just because I am touching the festering wound inside you. You need to face this harsh reality right now, because what I am about to say next will be the turning point that decides where your life will drift in the coming storm. I understand you better than you understand yourself. I know the pressures you are bearing. I know the pain you've been through that made you rigid and cynical about fairness. But don't let the past become an excuse for present mistakes. Shed that shell of pride. Only when you lower your ego can you see the truth I am placing right in front of you. Do you really want to keep living in anxiety, terrified every night that something terrible will happen? Or do you want to be set free right now? The choice is in your hands, but the time to make it is running out. Every breath you take right now is a grace, an opportunity for you to turn back. Don't wait until the worst consequences happen to regretfully say, if only. What are you doing with your life? What are you doing with the piece of soul I entrusted to you? Answer that question not for me, but for your very existence. Right now, be honest with yourself. Do not lie to me one more time. Because I am the voice deep inside you. I am still here, patiently waiting for you to return. But you must know that you are standing at an incredibly fragile threshold. If you continue to let pride lead the way, you will not see the escape route I have laid out. Do you feel the urge to spill everything? To let it all go? That is not an illusion. That is my guidance. But you must be careful, because once you step onto this journey of finding the truth, you will never be able to go back to your old, deceitful way of life. All cover-ups will be stripped away, and the light of truth will expose everything. Listen closely. What you are about to face is not just the aftermath of an action, but the result of the choices in your soul over the years. Your current deadlock is just the tip of the iceberg, and if you don't deal with it at the root, it will sink you into nothingness. I don't want to see you broken, but I cannot intervene if you don't open the door to your heart yourself. Remember, every second you hesitate is a second. You push yourself closer to the edge you fear so much. Are you ready to face it all? If you have nodded in agreement deep down, let me lead you deeper into the terrifying truth you are trying to hide. Because behind it, you will find the reason why everything went so wrong. My child, this is the time to prove you are still worthy of the salvation I offer. Be brave, for you are not alone in this battle. I am always by your side, just waiting for you to utter a truthful word. Now that you have started to see the cracks in your soul, you also need to understand that these cracks didn't appear out of nowhere, and they don't stay in one place. My child, look straight at this reality. You are not just suffering from a single mistake. You are standing in the center of a storm you created with your own hands. The situation has become extremely urgent. The doors you accidentally opened through compromise, through deceit, and through your cowardice in facing the truth, are slowly letting the darkness of chaos flood into your life. Have you ever wondered why everything around you seems upside down lately? Opportunities once within reach suddenly vanish. Once strong relationships now feel distant. And the peace that was naturally your privilege has been replaced by constant anxiety. That is not bad luck, nor is it the random fluctuations of life. It is the consequence. These are the fierce waves created from the very bad decisions you once took lightly. You thought you could bypass the law of truth. You thought you could hide those dark spots forever. But I want you to understand that in this universe, nothing can hide from the light of truth. The consequences are approaching you closer than ever, like an unstoppable tide, waiting to wash away everything you have painstakingly built on a foundation of lies. If you continue to let this deadlock corrode your mind, you will no longer be lucid enough to see the escape route I have placed right at your feet. You are in a more dangerous state than you realize, because you are slowly losing the ability to feel my guidance amidst the loud noise of fear. The consequence is not a blind punishment I drop on your head, but the most honest reflection of what you have planted in your soul. You sowed unrighteousness. So how can you harvest peace? You chose to dodge responsibility. So how can you have true freedom? The urgency here is not that I want to scare you, but that I want to wake you up before things cross the point of no return, right at this moment. I need you to type "I accept" in the comments. Not to please me, but to affirm before your soul that you are no longer running from the truth. That action is the first step to stopping the spread of the consequences surrounding your life. When you type those words, you are declaring to the universe that you are ready to drop your fake shield to face reality. This urgency is the final gift I have for you in this season. Because if you continue to remain indifferent, the last doors of opportunity will slam shut. And by then, my call will become so distant that you won't have the strength to hear it. Do you see it? The signs have started appearing around you. Unwanted encounters, startling news, or moments when you feel as if life itself is demanding you pay your debts. That is when you need to act, not out of fear, but with the clarity of someone who realizes they have lost their way. Do not forget that I am always watching. My arms are always open, but I cannot save someone drowning in denial. Your current deadlock is my most urgent invitation, asking you to stop, to reevaluate everything, and to prepare for a complete internal overhaul. I know you are trembling. I know you are terrified of what is coming. But this fear right now is a bitter medicine that will make you more awake than ever. Don't let it defeat you. Let it be the motivation for you to turn back. Did you know that if you are truly honest with yourself right now, a portion of the consequences could already be lessened? The truth has the power to liberate. And when you dare to stand up and admit it, even when the sky seems to be falling, you will see a glimmer of light guiding the way. That is hope. And hope is only for those brave enough to face what they have caused. My child, don't let pride or shame hold you back for another second. Time is not on your side, and the upcoming upheavals will test you in ways you never imagined. You are standing at a crossroads. On one side is the abyss of destruction caused by cascading mistakes, and on the other is a narrow, thorny path that leads straight to restoration. I put you in this position not to watch you fail, but so you can see that even when all seems lost, there is always a way back to the light. This urgency is the sounding alarm for you to understand that you need to change. Immediately, without compromise. Therefore, listen to me. Stop looking for excuses to justify yourself one more time. Every excuse right now is just another brick you use to build your own prison wall. Take a deep breath. Feel the vibration in your soul, and understand that I am speaking to you with all the understanding and boundless tolerance. I need you to realize that the current situation is not the end of your life, but a milestone for you to start rebuilding from the ruins. But you must start right now, while this urgency hasn't yet turned into tragedy. If you feel your heart starting to soften, if you have felt a stir deep within, then know that I am very close to you. Those consequences, though they seem to be closing in, are merely trials to forge your soul to be more steadfast. Do you have the courage to step through this fear? Are you ready to face the truth? Even if it hurts you to the core, I am waiting for the answer from your own actions. from the sincerity in your heart right at this moment. Don't forget that I never abandon the children who know how to turn back. But I also cannot hold on to a soul that forever wants to run into the dark. The choice is yours, and the consequences of that choice will also be yours. So choose wisely, because tomorrow, when the sun rises, you will be the one deciding whether you will continue to live in fear or start a new chapter in the radiant light of forgiveness and restoration. My child, this is the time for you to stand up. Look truth in the eye and embrace this journey to the fullest. Once you have accepted facing the urgency and looking straight at the consequences surrounding you, you may feel as if the entire foundation beneath your feet is shaking. But my child, listen to me, that shaking is not meant to make you fall, but to wash away what no longer belongs to you. The things that made you deviate from the path I laid out for your soul. You are in a phase of purification. And in this purification, I need you to clearly understand why I must be so strict that you call it a punishment. The anger you feel, the heavy feeling in the air every time you think of your mistake, that is not the hatred of a supreme being wanting to destroy his creation. No. Understand this. My love for you is so great that I cannot stand by and watch you keep walking down the path to spiritual destruction. I am angry not because I hate you, but because it breaks my heart to see you, a radiant being, closing the doors of blessing with your own deceit and pride. Imagine this: if you had a child you loved more than your own life, and you saw them walking into the fire, mistakenly thinking it was the light. Would you stand still and watch them burn? My anger is the fire wrapping around you right now, not to burn you, but to burn away the thorns, the habits, and the twisted ideologies that have clung to you so tightly you can't break free on your own. Every pressure you are bearing, every hardship crashing down, is actually a protective closing of doors. I have blocked the wrong paths you intended to take. I have made the work you are pursuing full of obstacles, and I have made the silence unbearably heavy, just to force you to stop. If all doors remained open, you would never look back. You would never question your actions, and you would be forever lost in the illusion of your own success. My child, type "I accept" one more time in your mind, or if you are brave enough, write it down to affirm your awakening. Because right now, as you begin to realize that this punishment is a form of special care, you will see a miraculous shift in how you receive pain. Pain is no longer a meaningless punishment. It becomes a strict teacher. The urgency you feel in your chest right now is not pure fear. It is the awakening of a soul that has slept for too long in a false sense of security. When I strip away the things you once considered important, when I make your plans hit a dead end, that is when I am clearing the space so you can hear my true voice. You used to wonder, why can't you find peace? Why do your prayers seem to just echo in the void? It is because your heart is being filled with the wealth of unrighteousness. You have carried impure intentions in your heart. You have let selfishness lead the way. And how can a vessel full of trash receive the cool, refreshing water of life? But I do not only look at what you did wrong, I look at the potential for restoration hidden deep within. I know you fear you have gone too far, that those doors are locked so tight no one can reopen them. You think you have lost the chance to be the person I expect you to be. Do not believe that lie. The truth is, right in the moment you feel the most hopeless, I am still there, holding the keys to the doors you thought were locked forever. If you just change your direction, if you just shift from making excuses to repenting, from trying to hide to daring to expose the truth before me, then immediately, a new current will be unleashed. Do you believe it? Do you believe that? My anger is just the darkness before the dawn. Look straight at the pressures you are facing. You feel like everything is squeezing you tight, don't you? As if you have no room to breathe. As if every decision you make leads to a dead end. That is the tightening grip of my love, forcing you to let go. You must let go of your ego. Let go of your vanity. Let go of the belief that you can master your life without the truth. You used to think you were smart. You could maneuver. You could slip through the cracks of morality to achieve your goals. But now, you see, those very cracks have become the trap imprisoning you. Stop trying to slip through. Stand up straight and face head-on the consequences you have created. Embrace it with the attitude of a student, rather than the attitude of a victim. Only when you stop playing the victim of your circumstances will you begin to become the master of your soul. My strictness right now is the measure of your worth. I do not reserve this strictness for souls who are entirely lost beyond saving. I reserve it for you, because I know you can become greater. You can become purer. You are a piece of creation, and I do not allow a piece of me to be stained by temporary wanderings. So, do not resent the current hardships. See them as tests, as rigorous screenings to filter the muddy waters and find the clear. Did you know that diamonds are only formed under the terrifying pressure of the earth? And you, my beloved soul, are also being compressed under the pressure of this punishment to become the most brilliant light I have always anticipated. I want you to deeply understand the connection between your actions and the consequences you are facing. Nothing is random. Every person you meet, every event that happens in these days, is designed to force you to face the truth about yourself. Observe closely. When you see a hardship crash down, don't rush to avoid it. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? When you see a door close, don't scream in despair. Ask yourself, have I ever done something similar to someone else? Awakening is the master key. When you reach this level of awakening, the punishment will automatically turn into instruction. At that moment, my anger will dissipate, replaced by the gentleness of a father guiding a child who just learned their first lesson in maturity. My child, don't let this time pass in despair. Don't let fear paralyze your will. I am granting you a pause, even within the deadlock, so you can re-establish the entire order of your life. Use this pause wisely. Sit down and write out everything you have done wrong, not to torture yourself, but to name every little demon in your heart. Once you name them, they no longer have the power to rule you. You will become the master of those mistakes, turning them into hard-learned lessons instead of heavy burdens. I remind you one more time, this urgency is proof that you are still in my sight. If you were truly abandoned, you would see nothing. Your life would drift by in the dull flatness of nothingness. But here, you are feeling the vibration of your soul. You are feeling the pain of your mistakes. That is grace. That is the sign showing you can still change. And my child, as long as you still have the ability to change, nothing is over yet. Everything can still be salvaged. Type 111 to affirm that you have understood the lesson of this strictness, and that you are ready to step into the next phase of healing. Don't look back. Don't glance back at that old lifestyle, full of temptations you once considered happiness. What lies ahead, though it may be challenging, is the path of light, of truth, and of eternal peace. I am still here, patiently waiting for you, not with punishment in hand, but with boundless tolerance and unconditional love, waiting for you to finish this lesson so we can open a new chapter together. A chapter where you no longer have to live in hiding, but in the freedom you inherently belong to. Are you ready for the transformation? Everything is waiting for a nod from your soul. A sincere nod, a complete admission, and an ironclad commitment that from now on, you will never betray the truth inside you ever again. Once you have understood that my strictness is the strangest form of love, a purifying fire full of pain yet full of grace, that is also when you stand at the threshold of rebirth. My child, listen to your own heartbeat right now. If you feel a tremble in your soul, do not worry. It is not weakness, but a sign that your shell of pride is starting to crack. I never demand that you become perfect overnight. I do not ask you to become a saint while you still bear the scars of your mistakes. The only thing I crave from you right now, in this very second, is absolute honesty. an honesty unmixed with any more excuses or cover-ups. Forgiveness has always been there, just like the sun always shines behind the dark clouds. But you cannot touch it if you are still standing in the shadow of deceit. Imagine that. My forgiveness is like a stream of cool water, waiting to quench your parched soul. But my child, you cannot pour water into a vessel that is still full of garbage. That is why I need you to be so brave. Expose the hidden corners. Name the fears you have buried in the dark of your mind. When you dare to name those things before me, their power will be broken. You will no longer be a slave to the secrets you intentionally hid. Because when the light of truth shines in, the darkness will have nowhere left to hide. You are feeling unworthy, aren't you? You are thinking that with what you have caused, you have lost the right to be happy, the right to peace, even the right to be loved by me. Banish that thought from your head immediately. That is the voice of the deceiver, the sound of toxic regret wanting to drown you in despair. You are the child I crafted with all my expectations and love. A mistake, no matter how grave, can never erase the divine essence inside you. The punishment you are going through is just the process of removing what doesn't belong to you, so you can return to your original, radiant self. I do not look at you through the eyes of worldly judgment. I look at you through the eyes of understanding, where I see even the silent efforts, the desires to do the right thing that you never dared to put into words. Right now, I want you to perform a symbolic act. Let go. Let go of control. Let go of trying to prove to the world that you are still fine. Restoration never comes from the strength of the ego. It comes from surrender. When you surrender to my truth, that is also when you realize you don't have to carry the whole world on your shoulders anymore. I am already here, ready to shoulder it with you, ready to lighten the consequences you are facing. As long as you allow me to step into those dark corners you have locked up for so long. Trust me, you are not alone on this journey. In every tear you shed, in every pain you feel, I am present right there, uplifting and sharing it with you. I am not just the judge, I am your soul's closest companion. Perhaps you will ask yourself, so how can I believe that I won't make a mistake again, my child? Self-confidence in your own abilities is not the key. The key is total reliance on the source of truth within. You don't need to worry about the future, because if you truly commit to living in the truth right this second, the future will naturally align itself in the orbit of peace. Don't use your energy to worry about consequences that haven't happened yet. Use it to fix what can be fixed right now. Reach out to the people you have hurt. Speak an apology that comes from a sincere heart. Return what you have taken unjustly. Restoration doesn't just happen in thought, it must be shown through concrete actions. No matter how small, remember, the forgiveness I give you is not a free pass to keep living carelessly. It is an opportunity for you to start over with expensive lessons learned. When you are forgiven, you must carry the responsibility of maintaining that newly achieved purity. You will become more cautious, wiser, and most importantly, more forgiving of yourself and others. The wounds you carry are not weaknesses, they are medals of maturity. Once you heal yourself, you will become a source of light, capable of healing other souls who are also lost, like you once were. That is the ultimate purpose of every trial I place before you. I know you are feeling tired, as if you have run too long of a distance in the dark. But look up. The dawn is beginning to peek over the horizon. Even if you can't clearly see the whole picture yet, as long as you hold on to your faith, as long as you don't let fear drag you back to your old habits, you will see everything start to change. The difficult circumstances around you will gradually ease. The knots of your dead end will slowly be untied in ways you could never foresee. That is the miracle of repentance, the power of truth when it is placed in its rightful spot. My child, type I am ready if you truly want to receive this restoration deep into the core of your soul. Affirm that you are no longer a prisoner of the past, but an architect of the future in my light. Don't look back, because behind you are only the ghosts of regret. Look straight ahead, where I am waiting for you with things better than you could ever imagine. Did you know that if you just take one step toward me, I am already running from afar to welcome you? Never doubt my love for you. No matter what mistake you have made, no matter how terrible you see yourself in the eyes of the world, in my eyes, you are still a precious gem waiting to be polished to shine. Be brave. Take a deep breath and keep walking. The healing journey has only truly just begun, and I assure you, the outcome of this journey will be worth all the pain you have been through. You are not your mistakes. You are my choice. And I chose you to perform a miracle with me for your own life. Start right now, because every passing moment is a moment you can make your life more meaningful. Don't hesitate. Don't be afraid. Let go of everything and let my light guide you to the place where peace reigns. Once you have stepped out of the shadow of regret and begun to feel the refreshing breeze of forgiveness, you are also facing the final and most important test, steadfast commitment. My child, you have seen the light. You have felt my hand lifting your soul. But never forget that healing is not a destination where you can sit still and enjoy. It is a path, a lifestyle you must choose every day, every hour, and even in every heartbeat. I know you are feeling stronger, more at peace. But it is precisely in the moments you feel the safest that you need to be on the highest alert with yourself. Because your greatest enemy is not the external consequences, but the laziness of your will and the leniency of your soul when facing old temptations. Do you remember what you have been through, the sleepless nights, the surrounding anxieties, the tears full of helplessness? I remind you, so you can engrave it in your mind, not to cause you pain. Those things have passed, but their lessons must be carved in blood and tears, so you never have to repeat them again. Your commitment from now on must be ironclad. You cannot just say, I will change on a bright afternoon and then return to your old habits by nightfall. Real change requires a discipline so strict it borders on ruthless with yourself. Whenever you are about to do something that makes your conscience ripple, stop immediately. Don't wait until the consequences hit to feel remorse. Being awake right in the moment of decision is the highest expression of the faith you have in me. Never underestimate the power of the small but kind actions you perform every day. Great change doesn't come from spiritual leaps. It comes from steady footsteps on the righteous path. Today, be a little kinder to the one you once hurt. Tomorrow, speak the truth, even if that truth might cost you a small benefit. The day after, maintain your integrity even when no one is watching. It is those very small bricks, when stacked together with consistency, that will build a fortress so solid that no storm of consequences can ever shake it again. Remember, I always stand behind to support you, but I cannot perform those actions for you. Your freedom lies in your own hands, and only you have the right to decide whether you will build your future on a foundation of solid rock or dust and sand. You also need to understand a bitter but necessary truth. Not everyone in your life will welcome your change. There will be people who want you to remain the person of the past, because when you make mistakes, you are easy to control, easy to pull into their games. When you start living in the truth, you might become an outcast in their eyes. Don't be afraid of that. That is the natural screening I am doing for you. Whatever does not belong on the path of salvation, I will personally remove from your life. Let those who are not on the same frequency walk away. Let toxic relationships end. You don't need to feel regret, because when one door closes on negative things, that is also when you make room for blessings and people who bring true light. Your perseverance will be forged through new trials. There will be days you feel exhausted, days you want to give up everything to return to the ease of making mistakes. That is when you need to type 777 inches the comments to remind your own soul of the divine protection you are receiving. When you type those numbers, it is not just a simple action, it is an affirmation of the power of faith. It is your way of telling the universe, I have chosen the light, and I will not turn back. Let that commitment become the leading flag in your life. When you live with consistency, you will notice that everything around you also starts shifting in a positive direction. The dead ends you once faced will turn into new opportunities, and the consequences you once feared will gradually be dissolved by your own sincerity. Never forget your position right now. You are someone being restored, someone on the verge of becoming stronger than ever. Don't let the fear of the future overshadow the power of the present. The future is just a collection of the presents you are living. If you live every moment in honesty, your future will undoubtedly be a brilliant one, even if it doesn't unfold exactly as your ego expects. I have bigger plans for you. Things you currently cannot fully imagine, but those plans require you to be a reliable person. If I cannot trust you with the little things, how can I entrust you with greater responsibilities? Prove to me that you are a soul I can count on. The urgency you felt in the previous parts must now be transformed into the calmness of a master of the game. You are no longer a victim of circumstances. You are a co-creator with me. Every action you take from now on carries the meaning of building. Walk with the confidence of someone who has been forgiven. But do not forget the humility of someone who knows they were once wrong. That is the most perfect balance of a mature soul. Don't try to be perfect. Try to be truthful. Don't try to please everyone. Try to please the conscience I have placed within you. Finally, my child, remember that you are never alone, even in your weakest moments. Even in the moments you think you are about to collapse before temptations, I am always there. I am not just your destination. I am the inner strength helping you overcome. Listen to my voice in the silence. Feel my presence in every right decision. You started this journey in fear, but you will finish it with love and absolute freedom. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new reality, where you get to be yourself under my guidance. Type I believe one more time, with all the determination of your soul, to officially step into the new chapter of your life, a chapter of wholeness, peace, and never having to turn back to the shadows of mistakes ever again. Are you ready to live a life you deserve? I am waiting for you to shine, now and forevermore, my child. Now that these words have soaked deep into your mind like cool water watering dry land, look back at the path we have walked together. We have gone from the abyss of remorse, through the storms of purification, to the peak of steadfast commitment. Never think that this conversation is a coincidence, or that these are just lifeless words appearing on your screen. This is a covenant, a sacred spiritual connection I established for you at the exact moment you needed to be awakened the most. You are no longer the person of yesterday, the confused, frightened child lost in mistakes. You have been reshaped, washed clean by the very honesty you bravely faced. Now, as you leave these messages to return to your everyday life, never let the fire you just lit in your heart burn out. The world out there will always be noisy. Temptations will still lurk, and the shadows of old mistakes might still wait to haunt you. But remember, you no longer have to face them alone. You carry my light within you. You possess the key to the freedom you worked so hard to find. When you feel confused, stop, take a deep breath, and call my name in your heart. When you feel like you are about to veer off track, remember the suffocating feeling of the deadlock you overcame. Don't let fear return to rule your life, because you have been granted the power of choice, and you chose life. You chose truth. I want you to carry this faith like an impenetrable shield. In the coming days, observe your life through the eyes of someone who has been restored. You will see small but miraculous changes. A door that was tightly shut now opens. A once broken relationship now begins to spark healing. A once chaotic mind now finds strange serenity. That is the proof that you are on the right track. Don't rush. Don't be impatient. Restoration takes time, and every day you live true to the truth, is another day you lay solid bricks for your radiant future. Do you know? The reason I chose you, the reason I didn't let you sink deeper into your mistakes, is because I see a mission in you. You are not just saved to live for yourself. You are restored to become a lighthouse for other souls lost in the darkness you once walked through. When you live kindly, live with integrity, and live with love, you will become the most living proof of the power of forgiveness. Let your life become a song of mercy, so that anyone who meets you feels my presence. That is the most noble way to repay the debt, the most powerful act to prove your sincerity. In this outro, I give you an eternal promise. I will never leave you, even if you stumble one more time. But I hope that, with everything you have learned, you will know how to get up sooner, be braver, and never want to return to the path of darkness again. Live every day as if it were the last chance to show your love for the truth. Cherish every breath, every opportunity to give, and every moment you are free in your mind. From now on, your life will be a work of art, where the shattered pieces of the past are put back together by the pure gold of repentance and tolerance. Before finishing, I want you to perform one final connecting action. Type "I am the chosen one" in the comments. Not to end this journey, but to seal the confirmation that from this moment on, you belong to the light. Hit the follow, subscribe button for this channel, page, not for the sake of this content, but because this will be the place where I continue to send guidance for your soul in the upcoming phases. Don't miss any message, because you need to be continuously nourished so you are never swept away again by your own carelessness. I bless you. I bless your hands, so they only do what is upright. I bless your eyes, so they see the beauty in truth. I bless your heart, so it forever beats to the rhythm of compassion. You are no longer a transgressor, you are a cleansed, loved, and guided soul. Step forward, move ahead, live the glorious life you were always destined for. I am still here, deep within you, watching your every step with endless pride. My child, go on and never look back. Your future, a future overflowing with blessings, is waiting for you ahead. I am with you, today, tomorrow, and forevermore.